morning, everybody. Welcome into the show. This is program number 601. Can you believe that? I'm so freaked out over that. I can't even. 601. And hey, Bob Tackett, good to see you, man. Had a conversation about you a couple weekends ago. Hey, Geneva. Hey, Abby. What's up, Jane, Cheryl, Jason, Jim, Jury. ¿Cómo está, amigo? Hey, Sherry. And over there on Periscope, somebody jumped in. I missed their name. What's up, Periscope? Welcome, Facebook. Welcome, YouTube. Hey, Cindy. What's up? Good morning. Minnesota is up and warm, I hope. It's going to be 50 degrees here. 59 degrees here today. I'm like pumped. Happy day in the Lord. Amen. What's up, John Dovey? We're just jamming out, waiting for time to roll in. We usually start about 11:31, so we got a little bit under a minute to get kicking. You guys ready? Let's do this. It's time for the Vital Axiom here on all your social media platforms. Here we go. Let me turn down this music and we'll get going. Welcome in. Hey, it's relationship week here. We're going to talk about relationships all week. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm not crazy. I don't even know. But we're going to talk about relationships. And I know, relationships are the greatest challenge to us, I believe, on earth, really, pretty much. I mean, for most people, good morning, Abby. For most people, hey, Luann, Pauline, what's up, Henry, Ishi, Buona Asafiwe, amen. And, for most of us, relationships are the most challenging things that we deal with because we have business relationships, family, marital relationships, kids, we got children. And I'm going to get me a sip of this agua over here. Or as they say in Russia, voda, and I don't know what they say in other countries, but. And I'm going to sing a song. I started not to sing today. I got all choked up before I got in here today, but I'm going to shoot for it anyway. And it's a song by Shane and Shane, and I like those guys a lot. They're incredible. I don't even come close to singing like they do, but they're amazing. And this song. Psalms 34, I believe. Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. And if I botch it up, just worship with me. It doesn't matter. I gave up a long time ago trying to impress people. And that's not what it's about anyway. We're just here to worship Jesus and lift up his name. And then we're going to talk about relationships. I got some cool stuff I want to share with you, some stories from my life. And we'll talk about it's going to be a cool week. I believe it is. A lot of people seem to be excited about it. I'm getting all kind of people saying things. My Swahili's getting better. Now, Buona Asafiwe, I've known that for a while. I don't know much else. There was a lady who sang when I was in Kenya. She sang the song I wanted to remember, but I can't remember it. So maybe you can put me up to. Maybe I'll go learn a Swahili song on YouTube and sing it one day for all you people from Kenya or from East Africa. Okay, guys, let's do this. You guys ready?
Sought the Lord, and he answered me and delivered me from every fear. Those who look on him are radiant, never be ashamed, never be ashamed. This poor man cried, and the Lord heard me. He delivered me from my enemy. The Son of God surrounds his saints. He will deliver them. He will deliver them. Magnify the Lord with me. taste and see that the Lord is good. Oh, blessed is he who hides in him. Oh, fear the Lord. Oh, all ye saints, he'll give you everything. He'll give you everything. Magnify the Lord with me. Come exalt his name together. Glorify the Lord with me. Come exalt his name forever. Let us bless the Lord every day and night. Never-ending praise. Let our incense rise. Let us bless the Lord every day and night. Never-ending praise. Let our incense rise. Come on and bless the Lord every day and night. May our incense come and rise. Oh, let us bless the Lord every day and night. Never-ending praise. May our incense rise. Magnify the Lord with me. Come exalt his name together. Glorify the Lord with me. Come exalt his name forever. Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. Oh, blessed is he who hides in him.
Now, if you really want to hear a great rendition of that song, look it up on YouTube, and you can go listen to Shane and the Brooklyn Tabernacle Choir. Pretty slamming. What's up, Karen? What's up, Sandra? What's up, Michael? What's up, Gerald? What's up, Richard Leverett? Are you serious? You're not serious. Is that really you? What's up, Richard? Long time no see, bro. Hey, Victoria, what's happening over there in Tennessee? Amanda, what's up, Amanda? Kathy's here, and Nick. Man, a bunch of y'all jumping in today. Michael Rowan's here. What's up, Michael Rowan? Let's hear from Michael Rowan. I think he's living in Texas, Tejas, Texas. And how's everybody doing? What's up, Larry and Lois? And, man, so many people. We got Dubai in here in Florida, and good gracious. Hey, we're talking this week about relationships, and I want to kind of kick it off. I got a little marriage thing I want to put up. This is by Ruth Bell Graham. A happy marriage is a union of two good forgivers. And if you're married, then you understand forgiveness, or you better learn to understand forgiveness, because that's what it's all about. That's where it is. Because when you're in a relationship with anybody, not just marriage, of course, can I just say this? Any good relationship is a relationship of two good forgivers, because even your best friends and all those people. What's up, Stu? Stu Henson's here. Even your best friends can hurt your feelings or do dumb stuff or make mistakes, because we're all human. So I want to talk out. I want to tell a story today in a minute, but I want to open up just talking to you a little bit about just a few things about relationships. My papers are all falling. A few things about relationships I want to start out talking about, because man, oh man, relationships are like the main thing in our life. If you look at the Ten Commandments, 75% of the Ten Commandments is about how we deal with people. If you look at the fruit of the Spirit, pretty much 100% of the fruit of the Spirit is how we deal with people. It's relational. and so we got to think about it. Let me get some water. I want to get me a cool cup to drink out of. His bottled water looks kind of weird. So I want to just kind of talk a few things. First of all, here's some statements just kind of out of the chute. And by the way, if you have any questions or things you want to talk about, send me a message. You can Facebook me, or it's the easiest probably way to do that. And email me or something, pwzone@hotmail or something like that. And we'll talk about maybe what you got on your mind. I got a few here. We'll get to them maybe later in the week. First of all, let's talk about point number one that I want to talk about right out of the chute. Most of us have distorted views of what a relationship is. You know, I do a lot of marital counseling, premarital counseling. I marry a bunch of people, bury a bunch of people. Here's what I find out, that a lot of times when I say the word relationship, for a lot of people, it has a distorted view. Sorry, I'm struggling again. And I don't know if they understand what a relationship is. You know, we come to know each other and get involved with each other, and we have all these different ideas coming in and expectations. If you go look on my Facebook, you can see I'm doing a relationship series, a bunch of memes. And one of those is one of the most terrible things for a relationship is unrealistic expectations. For example, here's a point that I make in premarital counseling. I'll say this: if you think when you get married it's going to fix you, your expectation is that this relationship is going to fix you. Actually, it's probably going to make you worse because, hey, hello, on Periscope, thanks for the hearts. Because relationships really can't fix you. In fact, the reality of it is, if you have serious life issues, marriage, or intense relationships where people are like up in your stuff, are probably going to intensify those or bring them out, like anger, like unforgiveness, like being easily offended, all kinds of stuff like that. And so I want us to think about, from where are you at? Powdersville. Where's Powdersville? I don't know where that is. So number one, and what you need to do in your life is reevaluate what a relationship is. What does it even mean? With your spouse or friends, what are you expecting from them? And by the way, what should they expect from you? And what does it mean to be in a relationship? And really, we have such unrealistic and distorted views of relationships. No wonder we can't maintain healthy relationships, because we're walking around in this little bubble of ideas that is so inaccurate and not even possible. Okay, so here's another point. Number one, most of us have distorted views of what a relationship is. Number two, most of us place expectations on others they cannot meet. Now, I want to kind of be careful here and set a balance. There are things we should expect from people. There are things. But sometimes we expect things from people that's impossible. And for example, if I'm in a relationship with somebody, for example, my wife, I can't fix her. I can't meet her needs. I mean, there's certain needs that I can meet, but when it comes down to her ultimate thing that God needs to do in her life, I can't do it. God has to do that. She has to let God do it and not look to me like, you got to fix everything and you got to make me happy, and all. It's not possible. So number two, most of us place expectations on others that they really actually cannot meet. And that's kind of dangerous, because you're just sitting there waiting all the time. I'm waiting. You're not doing what I ask you to do. You're not. And it's like, I'll give you an example. Let's say today they came to your house and they decided that you're going to become an NBA star, right? You are. Yeah, well, I'm 60, but no, we're going to make you an NBA star, right? We can do that, right? So they take you out and play and take you on the basketball court, and you're doing drills, you're shooting. What is the chances? Let's say, what are the chances that you are going to be dunking the ball, let's say, in the next month, 6 weeks, 8 weeks? Well, the chances are zero, because that expectation is not realistic for your gift set. You can't dunk the ball. I mean, there might be somebody on here. I would say this: out of all the people that are watching on this show, probably nobody that I've seen so far has the ability or could be trained to have the ability to dunk, because some of that's natural. So get this now. I want you to get this. Sometimes we expect things from people they're not capable of. They just can't do it. They just cannot do it. You say, but no, if they would just try harder. Well, there might be some truth in that. Maybe if they tried harder. But many times, oh, it's near Greenville. Headed to the house. Maybe even if they try harder, they can't, because sometimes it's outside their wheelhouse. And so we're just putting all this pressure on them for something they will never be able to do. And we're going to talk a little bit about the person you're in a relationship in just a minute. Number three, most of us are very poor communicators. Most of us are very poor communicators. Like, for example, like me, I'm a talker, yakada, 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 but I've not always been a listener, but I'm getting better. Many of us, when we get into what I would call confrontational conversations, we shut down, we get angry, we become unrealistic, we become pouty, all these little childish things that we do. So number three, here's something for you to think about. Hey, Lois, never expect perfection, expect the unexpected in a relationship. That's true. Realism versus idealism. It's very good. Realism versus idealism. We got to remember that one. That's really good. So we're very poor communicators, and we don't really, one of the greatest problems, for example, in any relationship, but certainly in marital relationships, is to communicate. I give this thing we'll talk about later called safety. There has to be safety in a relationship where someone can safely communicate what they feel, or you're never going to make any headway. So most of us are very poor communicators, and you might as well just own up to it and start working on your process. Usually what I find in relationships is there's one talker and one quiet person, and the talker talks too much, and the quiet person doesn't talk enough, and we can talk about the reasons why that is. Number 4, we are too easily offended. It just takes very little to overturn your little apple cart. So many of us are too easily offended. We get our little feelings hurt all the time. And something about growing up is that we are not looking for the opportunity to get our feelings hurt. I understand every one of us probably could be hurt by somebody. I get that. But if you can't take those feelings and bring them down and not let everything just ruin your life, you can never be successful in a relationship because everything will offend you. Go read the book by John Bevere, Bait of Satan. Everything will offend you. That hurts my feelings. That hurts my feelings. You hurt me. You hurt my feelings. It's like everything they do hurts your feelings. And so it makes it very difficult to maintain a relationship because people are going to be doing dumb stuff all the time. Even when they're not even trying to hurt your feelings, they might do something they shouldn't have done or say something in a way. And then when you're highly offended, I should say, easily offended, then you're always looking and searching for something to hurt your feelings. You're always looking for that. So remember that we're too easily offended. Can I just say this? Is it okay if I make everybody mad? It's just not that big a deal. Why are you going to make it one? Why are you going to make it? A thing we're going to talk about is escalation and de-escalation. Most people in relationships, especially because they're offended and they can't communicate, they escalate the matter instead of de-escalate the matter. They try to build on it and it gets bigger and bigger. I always make a little story. When I'm doing premarital counseling, I talk about a pair of underwear on the floor. And the wife's saying, pick those up. And she does it for a certain amount of time. And then eventually she says, I can't believe you. You're a jerk. You hate me. See it escalating, right? You hate me, or you pick up those underwear. You're just like your mother or your dad. I'm sick of you. Escalation. Instead of bringing it down. And that's important. So most of us are poor communicators. We're too easily offended. And another thing I want to say this, and then I'm going to get to my little story for today while I got time left. We are terrible at forgiving. Most people I know say they forgive, but then they bring it up over and over and over and over. Well, it's just like 5 years ago when you did this. Well, I thought you forgave me. I did, but I want you to know. We're terrible forgivers. Lois says that communication is often unspoken. And confrontation is what? Is a defense mechanism. Well, no, confrontation isn't necessary sometimes. You have to have confrontational. I mean, now we're back to what your definition of confrontation is. Sometimes we got to get to the business. We got to get it worked out. We are terrible at forgiving. We are just not very good at forgiving. If we were better at forgiving, our relationships would be better. But I just can't get over what they did. Well, you should get over it. You're going to have to get over it. And some, can I tell you this? People have gotten over a lot more than you can't get over. Can I just say that? There are people that have gotten over terrible, terrible, terrible things, and you can't get over this small thing. And maybe it isn't small. Maybe they committed adultery or something terrible. But we're terrible at forgiving. And we love to get forgiveness, but we don't like to give it. Last one, it's all about me. Today we're going to talk about self-obsession. What is damaging to relationships so often is a self-obsession where we are just focused on everything is me. The whole situation is me. Let me tell a story, and then I'm going to close because I'm running out of time. I was a youth pastor. My first appointment in ministry was a youth pastor, and let's just say that some people came wanting to be involved in ministry, and I felt a little red flag, like maybe not. Turns out I was right. They ended up attacking me on a Sunday after a service one time. I mean, these people, they let me have it for about an hour. Now, I was getting ready to go deer hunting on that Sunday evening, and so my mom had fixed Thanksgiving dinner because the deer season was during Thanksgiving week, and so my family had to wait at the kitchen table or the dining table for an hour and a half while these people lambasted me, told me I wasn't worth the skin I was wrapped in, basically, and obviously I began to see they were subverting the youth group, trying to get all the kids to come to them. They really wanted my position. That's what it came down to. So let me try to hurry. So I was so angry I was weeping, and not because I was hurt. I wanted to just punch them in the snouls. I was like, bow, the schnoz. So finally I get up in the mountains. I'm in the deer stand. I'm sitting there. The first thing about 5 o'clock in the morning, sun's coming up, and I was seething. And the Lord spoke to me. And you may want to argue with that, but it's okay. Let me just tell you the story anyway. So he says to me, "What are you doing?" And I knew what he meant, right? So what are you doing? And so I didn't have to go, "Well, what do you mean, what am I doing?" You know, when God asks a question, he's not looking for an answer. He's looking for you to get something. And so I said, "I'm angry and I want to hate these people. I'm angry and I want to hate these people." And the Lord said to me, he said to me, ready? He said, "Well, did they nail you to a cross?" And you know what I said back to God when he said that? I'll tell you what I said back to God. I said, "That's not fair. That's not fair." And I'll tell you the rest of this story tomorrow. I didn't mean to do that, but it's a little, it's a little tease. Come back tomorrow. As we're talking about relationships, let's go back over our list. Do you have a distorted view of relationships? Do you have unrealistic expectations in your relationships? Are you a poor communicator? Are you easily offended? Are you terrible at forgiveness? Is it all about you? Are you self-centered? Come on now. Say, "I'm turning this guy off. I don't want to hear this stuff." Well, if you want to talk about relationships, that's where we got to go. Today's number 601 broadcast of this self-obsession. It's called Me, Myself, and I. That's exactly right. So, guys, this is number 601 broadcast on the Vital Axiom. I can't even believe it. And I may, don't anybody get mad at me, I may stop singing for the rest of the week. That might make you happy so we can have a little more time to talk. We'll pick up tomorrow on my little story of what God said to me up in the deer stand when these people shredded me at church one Sunday. I love you guys. Have a great day. God bless you. Come back and tell somebody about the Vital Axiom. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great day. I'm out of here. Facebook, we're on Periscope, we're on YouTube. You can find us in all those locations if you want to. You guys have a blessed day.